we try to do with this series is try to get to know elected members a little bit better and who they are as people. And one of the ways we can do that is interview in a place that's kind of got a significance or special to you. So do you want to tell us about where we are?
This is my cabin, my bit of peace and quiet away from the world. So no power, no cell phone reception. I can't see a power pole or a building from here. So I, on a whim, just bought a kit set and conned my sons into helping me put it together. Plonked a double bed in it, brought down some gas cylinders, and this is my space. So I chill out here. If I don't have weekends fully booked on a Saturday night, I come down here and bring my G&T and a book and just chill out.
It's a great chill out space. You don't bring work down here, surely?
Absolutely not.
No, work-free zone.
Yeah.
So you were saying before that you got your sons to cut a hole into the roof so that you could look at the stars. Is that right?
Yeah, so when you lie in bed, half of the roof has got a sheet of double or armour plated or whatever it is, glass in it. So you can lie in bed and see the stars, and that's pretty cool. I got the idea from, we used to do a lot of tramping, and we stayed in a stargazer down in the South Island, and in the back of my mind I always thought, I'm going to do that one day, and here it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's been a tough few months for you. Obviously with what's happened to Neil, your husband. We've got lots of questions coming in to council, like asking how are you doing. So how are you doing?
Pretty good. Yeah, it certainly was a roller coaster ride, and it's only been 4 months since Neil passed away, and it was quite sudden, even though he got diagnosed, but it was basically only 50 days from when he got diagnosed to when he passed. So it's taken a lot of adjustment, but the community's been fantastic, and my family have been amazing. So I've got 3 sons and 6 grandchildren. So the ones that live away from here, they're always popping in and coming down, and the grandchildren just love coming here to see Gangang's place, they called him.
Yeah.
So we'll get through it. It's it's part of life. You have to deal with grief, and so that's what I'm doing. But I'm so thankful I have my job. Keeps me busy. I guess at the end of the day, that's usually my time when I go, okay, I'm coming home just to me. But I've got my dog and my cat and the farm, and my son comes around to look after the farm. So yeah, we're hanging in there. Yeah,
no, it's good to hear you got that support network around you. It's definitely needed. And so you got Meg here as well.
Yep, Meg the sheepdog's here. She's one that's missing Neil the most. She'll sit in the motorbike all day until somebody comes and takes her for a ride. So yeah, although she has been sneaking round to my son's place and staying there more often than not at the moment, so I don't blame her.
Yeah, fair enough. So in terms of your background, your history, so you're Manawatu born and bred, is that correct?
No, not quite. Came to Feilding when I was 10. My dad was the minister at the local church at Knox Presbyterian Church. And I was at intermediate when we came here, went to Feilding High School. My family then got posted to Auckland, to Takapuna. I was in my last year at school, so I boarded with some friends and finished my year at school. My dad said I had to go home to Auckland, which I did. Didn't like it one little bit. Got a job at social welfare in Auckland, and about 18 months later transferred down to Palmy. And of course I met Neil in my last year at high school. He was working on a farm, and so that turned into a relationship, and so here we are today.
Yeah, and I suppose it's all worked out for the best, because I don't think I've met anyone more passionate about Manawatu itself than you.
Oh, look, this is home, and this is the community we live in, and I was always taught to give back and to empower people to do the best they can for the community. So, and I've always worked with people. I've always loved doing that, I have a real passion for the place. Yeah.
What would you say is your favourite thing about Manawatu, either living here or showing people that are visiting?
Oh, I think it's our location. You're only a couple of hours from anywhere. Yeah. Wellington, Hawke's Bay, Taupo, we're 20 minutes from the beach. We've got all the amenities we want here. You can jump on the train and go to Wellington if you want to do city life or go and see a show. I think we're pretty fortunate here, and our climate's not too bad. Look at today, it's beautiful.
Everyone's now going to think that this is a tropical paradise, and the truth is that it really is. No.
Yeah, well, that's true. We do get a bit of wind, but it's pretty good. And great people, and Friendly Fielding does live up to its name, and the rural community. We've been farming here since we've been married, so and rural people are pretty resilient, and as we've been, and you just get on with life.
You were saying before about your family. Like, how does your family contend with you being a public official or an elected member itself? Like, is there lots that they have to contend with as well?
They like to stay out of the limelight.
Mm-hmm.
My son, it's a bit of a joke. My son, if someone says to him, "Is your mum the mayor?" and he goes, "Nope." So that's the end of that. They've got used to it. But there's lots of bonuses, when things are on and events are happening and my grandchildren are around, I can take them with us, and there's pluses and minuses of it, but I guess they've just come to learn to deal with it.
What would they say is your best trait, and what would they say is the most frustrating thing about you?
Best trait, probably that I'm always there to give advice, to help out, to listen. Doesn't matter what time of the day or night it is. Always there for my family and for my community. Yeah. And what was the most frustrating thing that they've been a little hesitant on that one? No, they were very loud and clear on that one, is learning to stop. Just take time out for myself, and learning to say no. But maybe it is something I've passed on to my family, to my 3 sons and their families, because their wives do complain about that as well. So maybe it's a Worboys trait.
Yeah. Carries on through the family.
Yeah.
So in terms of your aspirations for this next year, or maybe even sort of the next 3 years that you're as mayor, what is it that you really want to see happen within Manawatu?
I want to see us get back to locals know best, and it's all, you've heard the word local democracy, localism, all that kind of stuff, but it's real. There's so much going on that's impacting our country, and it comes from top down, and it's getting less and less removed. It's more and more removed from our community, from the people at grassroots.
Yeah. And
that's why I'm really keen to lobby for things like Three Waters and anything like that, where the voice of our community is lost. I just think there needs to be a much stronger partnership between central government and communities and council, and I'm really passionate about that and going to keep fighting for it across the board. Three Waters just happened to be the first big reform that came up. It's something our community's passionate about. We've got some fantastic assets, and we don't want to see those taken off us.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of if you could change one thing about Manawatu, if you had a magic wand and you made it happen, what would you like to see within the next year that changes and for the benefit of the community?
Oh, not a lot from a Manawatu place. It is pretty special and it's quite unique with its location, its people, what we offer. With the Air Force Base here in our patch and Linton Army, we're pretty fortunate, really. But I think the bigger picture for Manawatu is the lobbying that we can keep doing with central government to give more power back to the people to make decisions and sort out our funding so that we can actually deal with some of the things that are going on. Some of the education and health and crime and some of those kind of things, that they need some fundamental change, but we have to do it together.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Helen. Really appreciate you giving up 5 minutes of your time.
No problem. Thanks, Ben.